What's up, everybody? Peace, 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 people. Today, we're going to talk about Afridamus. He is a content creator who is an African from West Africa, Gambia, or somewhere like that. He had a live yesterday where he wanted to say outright that we, as Black Americans, well, he's putting everything on FBA, but he really means to say Black Americans are all indoctrinated. We are all slaves to the Democrats. We can't see that this woman is obviously playing us, that she is obviously just gonna use us and then spit us out. We're expendable, but that's the way that we're rigged. And it's very unfortunate that we can have Africans mock us in such a way today. And some of it is partly true because there are a lot of people that are refusing to acknowledge that this woman is really an Indian and that's what she's all about. And so I'm going to go through some of his live to showcase what he was on. And then we're going to get to some old clips of her. We're going to talk about what her record has been as a vice president. And again, it doesn't look too good. Again, being the border czar, first and foremost, is the worst position for her running up against Trump, because she has not been doing anything in that regard. And she is to blame for the open of the the openness, the wide openness of the border. Hey, what's up, Charlie Shaw? How are you doing? So if you could, please do me a favor by liking the video. This is for Black Righteous Folks Home, short for Black. I appreciate people that are commenting into the chat room. It makes the live a lot more interesting. Yes, Afridamus, again, is a content creator from West Africa, and he had a nice time yesterday mocking us. How are you doing? The Real Planet X Hunter? Yes, Trump 2024. It has to be Trump 2024. I wish that I could say something else, but I can't because it is the way that it's going, and that right now, that's my position. So let's get to this video. Fair use of all videos that I will show for educational purposes under 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This is all for observation, research. This is us discovering as we go the truth and the true nature of this woman that is running for presidency, Kamala Harris. I might be pronouncing her name, but that's the way that it's that is rigged in my mind to call her. So anyways, let's get to this video. This again is Afridamus. You guys, he goes by the name of Afridamus Reports, or the Afridamus report. And let's see how much fun he has talking again about his belief, which I can't say is totally hogwash, because the videos I'm going to show you is going to pretty much, vouch for some of the things in which he says. And it pains me to understand that we just are easily bamboozled, and people are going along with the lie, this skit that's being played out in front of our faces. And, we really don't have this luxury just to allow people to manipulate us in such a way. And so I'm hoping it's going to spark those that may be unfamiliar with her race or how she's playing us to really see things clearer in this video. So let's go.
U.S. politics. Guys, boy, oh boy, things have been getting hot, non-stop. And for those of you that's been paying attention, and maybe in the past, you were even called a conspiracy theorist. Well, a lot of things have been revealed right in front of us. If you haven't watched even the debate between Trump and Biden, where Trump literally just murdered Biden, I have it. I'm going to do a show on that as well. But we've seen a lot of things happen, during this time. We've seen Trump, there was an attempted assassination on Trump's life, and people pretend like, oh my goodness, America never does anything like that. Guys, the most popular president that was, you guys know, unalive, JFK, like the same thing. When he went against the people in the shadows, they took him out. So that alone, if you look at like Trump, and it's basically Trump going against Massa's plantation. Because you see, with Massa's plantation, they want to put a color over it. So like the Democrats.
And I really don't like his referencing everything as a plantation, beckoning back to slavery and all that. I don't think that he has to talk like that, but that's what he loves to do. He loves to poke at us and talk about this slavery talk and try to, say that we're nothing more than slaves. Any chance that he gets, he likes to do this. So just keep in mind that this is his rhetoric most of the time.
They are Massa's plantation. They own the media. They own the blacks too. So
again, this notion that we're being owned by the Democrats, I would say that your mind is being dumbed down, or you have decided to become a crash dummy for the Democrats if you allow yourself to not see what you need to see right before your freaking eyes. But yeah, this rhetoric that he talks about, it is a bit triggering. So just keep that in mind.
Blacks have a problem, which is leadership. I mean, guys, let's take it all the way to 2004.
We're not the only people that have problems with leadership. Look at Africa. So they love to talk about Black Americans and our plight and how things are not looking the way that they used to look. But he never really talks and goes into what goes on in the Gambia, for instance. The FGM, I think, was overturned for them now to reenact FGM, which is barbaric, which is basically tampering with young girls' genitalia and making it really rough and rough for her existence as a woman. But he doesn't really talk about things that goes on in Africa to the degree that he needs to. And I suggest for you, Afridamus, perhaps you should talk about FGM and how that's looking over there in the Gambia. But again, y'all don't have good leadership in the Gambia. Y'all don't have good leadership in Africa. You guys are about to have your own degree of hardships all throughout Africa with all these different protests and different uprisings that may occur, coups that continue to happen, and things that I could talk about on and on and on. But again, they love to scapegoat. Black Americans, Africans, typically from West Africa, love to scapegoat Black Americans. They get a thrill from doing it. Just keep that in mind.
The Blacks could not put up, their own representative. They had to rely on a half feather, half Kenyan, who his mother was white, his father is Kenyan. But you notice the Blacks, the part that represent them, which is the father, the Blackness, that's the part that they despise and question the most.
We did not have an issue with Africans with Obama, but now we understand that there is a difference between Africans and Black Americans. We have different outlooks. We have different viewpoints, especially if you're not a Pan-African and you're not trying to be in Africa. You're not trying to do stuff for Africans. There seems to be an issue with us wanting to stay as we are as Americans and worry about our own problems. But again, if you're not kissing up to Africans, a lot of these Africans have issues.
Even though that's what made Obama, right? They chose Obama and they bent the knee because the Blacks were mesmerized. They went with the outward look. But many Blacks started realizing, wait a minute, we made a mistake. But they cannot admit it because the media is not going to allow them to do so. So we move fast forward to Kamala Harris, the first transracial Black, transracial Indian to be selected as vice president. So today, this is what the discussion is going to be about. Because personally, I'm confused. For the past few years, we've been hearing, oh man, these feathers, they want to replace us, the Africans and the Jamaicans.
Again, you guys do come over here worrying about yourself, taking as you want, and you don't want to do anything as far as our communities. So therefore, you shouldn't probably ask for us to do anything about your communities in Africa. So that's where we are on that. Mind your business and we'll mind our business.
But is it, well, Kamala have some connection to Jamaica, but we would find out what she, her true identity is, how she was raised, her mindset, the people that she represents. Because, folks, let me tell you, that's very important. It's not just like somebody comes up and starts saying, oh, I'm Black. Now, all of a sudden, you are black. So this is the disconnect we have between us, the real Africans, and the blacks. Because you see, the blacks are confused about who is black. They are very confused. They even
you guys want to be confused for the ones that are continuing to be confused. There is no reason whatsoever under the sun to conclude that this Kamala Harris is black. Obviously, if you look and listen to past videos that she has done, you can find out simply and easily what her true allegiance lies with. And her true allegiance is where she comes from. Originally, her family, her mother and her father is an Indian living in Jamaica. Just because you are a Jamaican doesn't necessarily mean that you're melanated. And there are other races of people that live in Jamaica. And so they're just playing it off like, we're supposed to magically believe that the father is somehow melanated Jamaican. He's melanated, but he's melanated Indian. And I believe partly white as well. Now look at this video. This video is showcasing Kamala Harris cooking with another Indian, and listen to what is happening and what is stated as far as what is her true race is, so that y'all know that I know. And I am a Black American, and I am not bamboozled, and I am trying to wake my people up continuously early on so that we can debunk this lie.
I want to suffer the consequences of our future president not liking my Indian food. Can I just tell you something? Yeah, I've never made toast. I love that you're coming to the kitchen already. You live here. This is so funny. Are you stressed for making Indian food?
Oh my God, you two had a tasters. Oh my, you have no idea. This is how my mother kept all of her stuff.
This is so funny. I told my dad I was like bringing over the stuff from the store. He's like, obviously I put them in taster's choice.
So that's literally was how my mother kept all of this stuff.
That's so funny.
What is that?
Do they tell each
I
other?
don't know.
Hi guys, it's Mindy. I'm here in my kitchen, and today we are cooking, but we have a very special guest. Very special. Senator Kamala Harris. Hi guys. Wait, so here's what I want to know.
Okay.
Is it respectful to call, I should be calling you Senator Harris, right?
No, you should not. That's not on my birth certificate.
Okay.
Kamala? Yes, please.
What's on your birth certificate, Kamala, while we're talking about it? Let us know what's on that birth certificate. But they're going to say what they are. They're going to say both in unison that they're both Indians.
Because the Indian in me, I feel like my parents,
Just
my
don't
dad
call
will
me-
watch this.
Just don't call me auntie.
I won't call you auntie. They'll be like, how could you call her by her first name? She's worked so hard. Okay, so what we're going to cook today
Okay.
is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows.
Because you are Indian. I hope that anyone out there that's worshiping this idea that she's black and somehow that's supposed to be the reason for voting for the first black so-called woman, you need to understand that this is nothing more than a hoax. She's been lying. She continues to lie. She will lie. It's like these videos are all over the place where the proof is all out. And yes, she's going to turn around and pivot and say she's black now. And that just shows you the type of character that this individual has. She doesn't have much of a character. But listen, she's going to say she's Indian.
That. But I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So,
And there is a video I'm going to show a little bit later where there's a celebration going on of sorts there in India about Kamala Harris. So they're celebrating her being Indian. She is Indian. So why would she lie to our faces, Black Americans? Because we're usable, because we're expendable. This is what she thinks of us. This is what Biden thought of us. This is the same continued emphasis of disrespect. And I'm sick of it. So I hope to goodness that somebody would share this video. People would like the video. People would subscribe to my channel as well. Let's go.
we are both Indian,
Yes.
but actually, we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so, were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food. Lots of rice and yogurt, potato curry, dal, lots of dal, idli.
Again, this is her foods, Indian food. I mean, how clearer can we make this for Black Americans? I know that other groups of people really get it. I just want the Black Americans and other people that's trying to fool you, other people with other agendas to fool you, to convince you and trick you into believing that she would be the first Black anything. We already went through this through Obama. We already been through this. We don't have to do a repeat, y'all. We don't have to do a repeat.
Yes, Italy. That's a deep cut. Okay, so what we're cooking today is two things. One of the South Indian staples is dosa, which is kind of like a sourdough crepe. And then we're going to make a...
So you guys should get the memo. Potato curry and all that curry, it's symbolic to Indians. And this is what she is. And there's nothing wrong with her being Indian. It's just something wrong with her lying about who she is. It's something wrong with someone just using another group of people that's struggling, that's having a hard time, that's been ignored for the last 3.5 years on purpose. And like, that's going to continue if y'all allow this woman to get away with this lie and convince us that she's Black. And I hope that this will, wake us up. So let's get back to Afridamus' video. Again, he's enjoying himself, mocking Black Americans who call themselves FBA, which, by the way, Afridamus, FBA people don't want to deal with any type of immigrant as far as in the office, to be technical. And so we would not be rocking with Kamala overall anyways if I was FBA. That's what Tariq says, that, her going there to tricking us into believing that she's Black, it just shows a character flaw. But again, FBA is not trying to pick Harris or believe in her whatsoever. So your whole premise of your video is just off. It's off-putting. It's not really the truth, but yeah, you can still spin it all you want.
Mariah Carey as Black. But you see, when Obama came, even though Obama was raised by his white mother, he wasn't raised in the hood around the Blacks. Well, he visited his father's country, Kenya, right? So my point is, any of these people that can pick up little bits of phrases from, the countries they are tethering from, then they are not Black American. But the Blacks are so desperate to worship a light-skinned mixed person, because they...
Here we go again. There are some people that have an issue with this light-skinned thing because it has been ingrained in us to put up on a pedestal mixed race people. Throughout time that has happened, and I've broken myself from that spell, and I hope to goodness that y'all out there that have been doing this would just stop, because you are giving them accolades and praises that they are not deserving of and they have not earned.
And despite the white man, Barack Obama got in. Smart man. What did he do? He knew if he did the Kamala, because, Kamala married a white, you guys know, the little hats, I can't say it, but put 2 and 2 together. That's who her husband is, right? But Barack Obama, he married a, quote unquote, FBA person. So he made it to the White House 2 terms. And then Trump came in, he detected it. I started asking questions because I've never seen anything like when Trump came around. Like, unanimously, the media, it's like they all repeat the same things, right? And they bring people to lie to us back to back. I was like, oh, the fix is in. If you question it, they're like, oh, what, you don't like Black people or what? So every 4 years, they make it about Blackness. So if you're confused about why I'm talking about this, They're making it about blackness and black people.
That's what the Democrats have been doing, and we need to understand that's the only game they have to play. That's the only way that they can manipulate most people is through this so-called notion of blackness. Once you wake up and understand the hustle, then you can work and work around that and go for the best choice that's out there, which happens to be Trump. Again, the open border is a big issue caused by Kamala Harris. And I hope that we understand that that border has to be dealt with one time or another. And she's not going to deal with it. So are we wanting 4 more years of an open border, just having like millions upon millions of people pouring in and God knows who they're bringing?
Are confused. If this is a race, that black people are, if they make it about race, skin color, shouldn't black people know the truth, which side they are on? Because black people, just like in Barack Obama's case, I know most of you blacks, even watching me, you will still refuse to accept this. But, Tariq Nasheed and other people have made this known that you guys' grievance, your beef, is against so-called, quote-unquote, feathers. But you guys cannot have your own representative. It is the feathers, the light-skinned feathers, that represent the blacks very well. No black, like FBA, have ever made it to the Oval Office. Am I lying? So they gave the blacks Barack Obama. So that same thing they are trying to do this time around. Because see, when they had like serious,
because they have nothing else to offer. So they just want to just get our votes again and then spit you out like some overused bubble gum. That's how they're intending to treat us again. She took a playbook lesson out of Biden's previous, book, and she's doing the same thing that Obama did and the same thing that Biden talking about. If you ain't black, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, and all this type. Everything is circling around this term black, y'all. We got to break that spell, that so-called notion of blackness. It is really hindering us as a people. And I hope that you guys would share this video so it gets out to many other Indigenous Black Americans so that they can see it and maybe their eyes will open and the scales will fall off of their eyes.
Of things in place. Remember, you know what they did? Go back. Don't believe in what I'm saying. Just go back and see who is in charge of prosecuting Trump. They brought, the blacks, because it's just like plantation work. Plantation. So it's not literally people are going to be picking the cotton, but who did they put in charge of doing all the dirty, nasty jobs? FBA women. They deceived them into thinking they have prestigious position. They made them prosecutors. Like in New York City, they have Letitia James went after Trump. Because there is, first of all, they try to kill his character in the media. When all rational people know these things that they are pushing, in fact, the same people that are pushing it, think about it. They were running the same, like even this Kamala, they're running on the fact, they say, oh, the justice system is so unfair. So the same things that they said, is unfair. We are all seeing that's what they are doing to Trump, and it's the same group of people doing this. First, they try to assassinate his character in the media. They failed. Then they're like, let's use the law. Guys, come on. Come on. Those of you that are watching me, none of you are naive. I don't believe that you guys are this naive to believe that, these people in charge, the White House, you know, the CIA, the FBI, all these people are not against Trump. We're watching this happen, right?
We know for a fact that Trump definitely is the man to beat, and they're doing everything and all things that they can to make up, trump up charges or whatever the hell can be, to discredit him and make it harder for us to see him the way that we need to see him. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat room. I hope that you guys would do me a favor by liking the video. Please share this video. Subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Let me see. I can't do all the comments, but I will start kind of like halfway up as best I can. Hello to everybody that's in the chat room. I appreciate you. Let me see. Where can I start? Okay. Yes. Charlie Shaw says, how you doing, sis? You said he is spreading propaganda because all of these Black Americans are speaking out about her having no standing. They say things like this to sway our votes to benefit them. Well, some people are still dumbed down to this notion of Blackness, Charlie, and you will see later on in this video, there are whole Black men's with gray hairs and everything like that still talking about she's the first Black woman and all this type of talk. It's really, truly marveling how jacked up we trick ourselves out of our own senses. You said he needs to worry about who immigrants are voting for. I know the immigrants are going to probably vote for Harrison. That's what mostly all immigrants are voting for, so that they can bring more immigrants over here because they don't care. You said those people who consider themselves FBA aren't voting for Kamala. That's what I'm saying. So putting FBA in the title was kind of pointless because by definition, foundational Black American, we're looking for our own people here in America. We're not looking to get with some other foreigner, which Kamala's background, you know, she might have been born in America, but her mom and her dad are foreign. So FBA is not looking to vote for Kamala for the most part. It's the ones that are not considered FBA that you need to worry about, that I'm worried about. Those are the ones that I feel have fallen through the cracks, and they're still dumbed down and brainwashed. You said it's the Pan-African and those who love to call themselves African Americans. That's what I'm saying right there. The millennials is what I'm worried about. And the boomers is who I'm worried about. Boomers and millennials that call themselves African American. Those are the ones that are prone to thinking about her being Black. And those are the ones that I'm trying to reach them through this video. Charlie Shaw says he needs to try to get those kids out of those cobalt mines. I don't even know if they have cobalt in Gambia. They're so poor over there. He just needs to worry about the FGM first and foremost. You said, Val says, I don't vote for politicians because they're Black. I vote for the man or woman that I think will do the best job. Honestly, I don't believe in any of the candidates. Well, normally speaking, I wouldn't either. Normally speaking, this is not my thing to do, Val, talk about politics like this. But I feel like if we don't get this right for the next 4 years, we might never see America ever again the way that we used to remember it being. Not saying that it's, perfect. Of course not. There's justice that needs to be worked out. There's discrimination still happens. There's still racist cops, obviously. We see Sonia Massey that got murdered. We still have a slew of issues that need to be addressed, but to have it fall worse than what it used to be, or have other elements brought here that weren't here that are dangerous, and drugs being poured in here, and other unvetted men that are able-bodied that's all over the place. I have problems in thinking about what could be beyond that. And I don't want to know. So I want Trump to come back and manage that situation, bring balance back to the office, because there's no balance right now. So that's the only reason why I am siding with Trump right now, because otherwise I would not bother. Charlie Shaw says, Val, it's these Pan-Africans, Boulets, African Americans who's voting for symbolism. Exactly. You know exactly what's going on. Black power for the people. Absolutely right. Film school rookie. Kamala is half Indian. My wife is Indian and can't stand her. Why is that? What does she do to make your wife not stand her? Film school. She's half breed. What's the lie? She's not black. Her other half is still Indian. Just because he lives in Jamaica does not make him melanated, so-called black. Hey, what's up, Mr. Uganda? To me, she looks so Indian. Exactly. She looks too Indian. I want to know why some people are calling her black. They're being ridiculous, Mr. Uganda. Like, who is looking at her and really thinking this? This is a whole psyop. And a lot of people are falling for it. I don't know if they're doing some witchcraft on these people. Voodoo, what's going on? Okay, what's your problem with her? Well, keep listening, you'll figure it out. Mostly the border, though. If you really want to know, it's that border, and it's like 10 million people that's unlawfully, illegally in this country. Let's start there. African Goddess says, please don't call people half-breeds. M. Nix, a vote for Kamala after Joe is like changing your shirt after you have shit your pants. Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, what's up, Miss D? And hello, everybody that's in the clouds. Also, she is a horrible person, and her record speaks for itself. That's what I'm saying. In addition to that, she gets little gleeful about putting people in jail and arresting people and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not feeling Kamala Harris at all. Mr. Uganda says, I searched her name, and she is named after a whole Hindi goddess. Wow. People want to keep saying race is a social construct. If that is the case, why can't we say she's Indian and Asian? It just, like I said, people just want to train us to just follow this lie. Even though we see the truth, even though we ought to know the truth, they still want us to believe in a lie. Her identity seems so Indian, and it is. And I'm pretty sure her friends and her family know the truth. From the name to the looks. I heard that. Yeah, Mr. Uganda. How you doing, Miss D? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Even if you take race out of the mix, she is evil in her mindset. I think so too. I don't think she's trustworthy. You said Charlie Shaw, her father is a biracial Irish and Indian who was born in Jamaica. He has said that he's not a black man. His family also owned enslaved Jamaicans. That's exactly what I heard. That's what it is. Father half Irish and half Indian, and they owned enslaved Jamaicans. It does not make them, just because they lived or he lived in Jamaica, does not make him melanated Jamaican. He's not. So sick of Kamala, she has no shame. No, she doesn't. Let me see. R. Hansen says, The Rock, then rock with Trump. Enjoy Project 2025. You're all playing identity politics, and it's ridiculous. I'm not playing anything. I'm just telling the truth. And we don't know 2025 project that's going to really, really happen the way in which you believe it. I think it's a scare tactic to try to get us to just, believe in that scare tactic, and I'm just not falling for it. And M. Nick says, I just had this same argument. What argument? So where the heck is she black at? Exactly, Charlie. The black people that calling her black are a whole lie, Mr. Uganda says. Exactly. You can't look at her family and think she is legitimately black. No way. Speaking of which, let me pull up this video I have of her village, her mother's village. Again, she knows exactly who she is. And her ancestral village, where her mom comes from, They're all celebrating and having a good time, thinking about Kamala Harris becoming the first Indian president, not black, Indian.
We are proud of Kamala Harris because she has brought this village name to the world map. Since last week, nobody was knowing that Joe Biden would withdraw and this name would be proposed by him. Donald Trump is also a close friend of India, and she is the Indian origin lady. Once upon a time, some 70 years back, the foreigners were ruling India. Now, what people are playing.
Again, I don't know how much more can you guys need to understand that she's really Indian. So let me get back to the comment sections. She's really Indian. Who's trustworthy? You're correct. Not everybody's 100% trustworthy. That's for sure, Dave Sharp. But one thing I can say about Trump, he is serious about that border. I believe that he's going to get to it ASAP. It will not be the way that it is once he gets in office, and we need to start somewhere. Falling for if you will be sorry in the end, Dave Sharp says. Well, we're going to be sorry with Kamala Harris. All the way around, we're going to be sorry. So we have to wait and see who's telling the truth. Alistair says, doesn't matter, as a Republican for Kamala, will vote for anyone but Trump. Is that right? Why did he block the border bill then? Be serious, Flanker says. I didn't hear anything about him blocking a bill. Which bill are you referring to? What's up, Easy X? Thank you for coming through. Tyra says, wow, I'm glad you're saying this. Look at Maryland Senator. Miss D, Charlie says, exactly. I don't know who has given them authority on who's our people or not. That's the crazy part right there. Everybody's trying to say that anybody from anywhere is our people, and they are not. That's that Pan-African mumbo jumbo talk. Everybody from everywhere is not my damn people. Miss D says, too many Africans and Caribbeans think light-skinned people, not black. They can't tell us who's black. Yeah, they want to make it seem like the darker you are, the more pure you are, but we don't look at black like that. We look at black like it's our ethnicity. We don't look at black like it's our race here in America. And so they're confused. Charlie Shaw says he's mixed Cameroon and Coon. Okay, who is that? You said, I have more white DNA than my light-skinned, loose, curly-haired sister. Oh, okay. You said he's not only Tethers and Coons listen to him. Oh, you talking about Afridamus? Yeah, he does be having a lot of Coons over there. Honey Horse says, because how did R. Hansen come to that conclusion? He or she has had to see some sort of propaganda news outlet trolling or just plain dumb. Charlie says, absolutely, they want us to push out our light-skinned kin folks who have no white parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, etc. They can't move into our identity until they eliminate them. Yeah, that's interesting how they want to discredit. I would say that we are mixed. I would say we are multi-raced here as Americans. But so what? Our life is our life, and we're leading it. Mr. Uganda says they were trying it with Meghan Markle as well. Yes, they were. They definitely were trying it. So let me get back to Afridamus again in his notion that he knows best. And he is, again, having a good time mocking the Black Americans who can't seem to see past her face and still believe that she still is considered Black. And she is not. So that memo needs to get out there.
So Joe Biden, they said he won the presidency. Fine. This is what we were told. There's a lot of discrepancies, but anyone that there are questions goes to jail. That should be clue number one. Since when did it become a crime to question the legitimacy of the elections. People do this all the time. Do you guys remember Al Gore and Bush? They went to court. They fought this out. Hillary Clinton, when she lost in 20.
I'm going to fast forward just a little bit because he's a little bit long-winded. Hold
I'll
on.
play some clips.
Let me fast forward it.
And Caribbeans. Yes, Kamala's father came from the Caribbean island of Jamaica. But you must know the island of Jamaica is not an African country. It's not only dark-skinned black people there. So I have another video here. See, Kamala is very brilliant. Very brilliant. I have another video here for when she became the first Indian senator and they were swearing her in. Check this video out. Okay? When her family comes out, if you would see even one single FBA here. Here we go.
His first Indian American senator in 2017. Yes. Watch Kamala Harris sworn in as first Indian American senator in 2017.
Do you guys see this? So don't menace to my mom. You see, the receipts are right here in front of you. Right in front of you. So here we go.
Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies? Now you got some family out here?
Thank you. Come on, family. I got quite a crew.
Can you see everybody? You can't see the big guy. I'm not doing it.
Watch. You guys seeing our family, right? Those who, oh, she's black.
Up top.
You guys see that, right? You guys see.
Poor hubby. Poor hubby. No.
Exactly. You know. So this is what is happening here, right? So she's over here laughing with the Indians, saying, "Oh, they think I'm black." In the meantime, you got the blacks doing this over here.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man. What you going to do? Coming through. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Boy, you got educated people.
Exactly. So the blacks are out here trying to show like they are the best. They are the best tap dancers. You see, you've seen those videos, right? If that is not enough, let me show you an interview with Kamala Harris's auntie back in India. Okay? Let me show you. Let me show you right here so that you don't think I'm not showing you everything. Here we go.
As about the upbringing that Kamala Harris had and the mother's influence on her life.
See, we were not there when her mother was bringing her up. But from what we saw, she was a strict mother. She taught her values. She told her what to do. And she told her to fight for everything. That is the kind of thing.
And also, now you can see that Kamala Harris has risen to such a high position. Do you see the same streak of rebellion that you saw in her mother in Kamala Harris and in the way she has actually fought her way to the top?
Yes, definitely. Because Shamla would have been very happy had she been alive. Unfortunately, she died very young. But, she would have been very happy because she brought them up to come up to this level. And I knew Shamla when Kamala was first fighting for the DA post in San Francisco. I was in California at that time. And Kamala was thinking of standing for the DA post. And we were talking about it and we knew about it. And from that time, I knew that Kamala wanted to get somewhere. And she said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to become a DA. And that's how she did. She became a DA, then she became an Attorney General, then she became a Senator. That is the kind of thing.
Ma'am, In fact, we came to know via reports that you had broken coconuts for Kamala Harris during her course as a.
When the Attorney General post was there, there was a.
Again, this is her family. So her auntie, I believe. Let me fast forward a little bit because I can hardly hear it. If I have a hard time hearing it, I'm sure you guys are having a hard time hearing it. But it's obvious that she leans more on the Indian side than anything. And for people just to assume that this woman is not really Indian and that she has our best interests at heart is really, it's just maddening to me. Kamala Harris only cares about who she cares about, and unfortunately it is not Black Americans at all. Again, here is an old video of her talking about the Black community. See how uninterested she is in our plight, how she's not going to help us, and that's her mindset all along. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed.
One of the questions that the Black community has is, Senator Harris, if you were elected president, what would be your agenda for the Black community?
Right.
We know that
Right.
Black Americans are arrested at higher rates for
That's
marijuana. We're denied mortgages when we loans for
exactly
mortgages. There's a
That's
wealth
right.
disparity. So how do you
That's
help the
right.
Black community from
That's
the
right.
White House?
That's right. Well, the first step is to understand.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, all these things that's terrible for Black people. That's right. That's all she cares about. That's right. She don't care that is going on with us. Listen to her response.
And that the needs of Black folks are the needs of everyone, and the needs of everyone are the needs of Black folks.
Unfortunately, people get specific needs met. The anti-Asian bill comes to mind. LGBTQ bill comes to mind. Other policies and other bills have been passed to bless and help other groups of people. Other immigrants have been helped. Ukraine has been helped. The Israeli has been helped. Everybody has been specific. But when it comes to Blacks, it's everybody needs to be included in that package or we can't get it. But everybody else for other types of things, they can get specifics. She is definitely going to omit us yet again.
It is also equally important to understand that this is a country that had over 200 years of slavery, had Jim Crow, had legalized segregation and discrimination, and now de facto segregation and discrimination. And so while our needs are like everyone else's in terms of we want our babies to be born healthy and live a happy and productive life, we care about issues of climate change, we care about issues of national security. We also know that when you look at disparities around wealth, around home ownership, around education, around who is stopped, arrested, and incarcerated in this country, there are huge disparities based on race, and that has to be dealt with. So part of my proposal in terms of the agenda, specifically for Black folks, is about what we need to do, for example, around maternal mortality. I have actually sponsored a bill and intend, as President of the United States, to make sure it is passed around recognizing that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in childbirth. And when you study the issue, you know that it is not about the education level of somebody. It is not about their socioeconomic level. It is literally about their race. Remember what happened to Serena. It is literally about racial bias in the medical health professions that cause people to not take Black women seriously when they walk into the door of that hospital or that emergency room in terms of how they talk about what they need. The agenda includes HBCUs, for example. I am a proud graduate of Howard University. I know that our HBCUs have raised and helped raise generations of leaders in this country, and do it in a very special way that is about nurturing and about creating high standards and challenging young people to be their best, not giving them any excuse, but giving them all kinds of support. So we need to do more. Yeah, I'm right now working on, and actually got it out of the Senate, and the House passed it around giving more money to HBCUs around their historic landmarks. But there's more to be done around creating incentives for more young people to go into the STEM professions through HBCUs. There is what we need to do around the point that you were raising about the economic disparities. I have a proposal that will be my first order of business when elected president, that is about lifting up middle-class working families. And what I'm proposing specifically...
Middle-class families. So again, she does not care about the less fortunate. She's not talking about helping the homeless. She's not talking about helping the vets. She's not, even back when, back in 2020, this is the conversation that was being had. Her focus has been what Biden's focus is on now. And I think that she's going to do the same type of stuff that Biden was on. She said that he was a great president. How is that possible to say? How could she fix her lips and say that Biden was a good and excellent president?
Is that families that are making $100,000 or less would get a tax credit that they would receive it up to $500 a month. This proposal, economists across the board have said, would be the most significant middle-class tax cut for American families and generations, and it would lift up 60% of Black families out of poverty.
So it does touch Black families.
Oh, absolutely. Directly. Because when you look at the proportionality of where Black families are, you see it in terms of housing and home ownership. Where white families, something, I'm going to get this generally right, but something around 70% of white families own their homes versus somewhere around 40% for Black families. So you don't have to look very hard to see that disparities exist. But you also don't have to look very hard to see this. And when we're talking about families, regardless of their color, they have an equal desire to work hard, to love their children, and allow them to have a pathway and an equal pathway to success. Black mothers, white mothers of whatever race, wake up.
Well, we know what type of family she'll be helping now will be the immigrants' family. So I just wanted to show a little tidbit of what she said back in 2020. She's not here to bless only Black folks, but she can be specific when this administration, Biden's administration, gets specific with immigrants. She's on board with that. So she's going to be doing more of the same thing. Like I said before, she does support the LGBTQ. Recently, there's been a push of a campaign with the drag queens to appeal to Gen Z. Here is her pandering to the gay community. I feel, again, there are other issues that she should be focused on, but pandering is what she does best.
Kamala Harris, she's desperately trying to win over Gen Z. So much so, she launched her campaign. What's going on here? With drag queens as well.
Of course.
Your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Now on with the show.
And remember, you better vote.
Like
a president. I mean,
Pandering is what she does best, but this is the type of story right here that you're about to hear that bothers my spirit, how it does affect all Americans, but in particular, the Black community is affected by the immigration overflowing that's been going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Meline Bra from New York.
Good evening, everyone. My son, Sergeant Hassan Korea, an Afghanistan War retired veteran. He received enemy fire from the Taliban, only to be murdered with a knife on the streets of New York City. The four assailants responsible for his death initially were facing justice. But that changed when District Attorney Alvin Bragg was elected. Suddenly, two of the homicidal maniacs responsible for my son's death had their gang assault and murder charges completely dismissed. One of them received 14 months time served. Alvin Bragg charged her with assault with a shoe. And another one was sentenced to 7 years. I later learned that Alvin Bragg often dismisses and reduces dangerous criminals. He wants to clear the jails and return violent felonies onto our streets every day. The injustice was devastating for me and my family. I don't want anyone else to experience the senseless pain that many other victims across this United States of America have to live with every day. So I decided to use the voice that God gave me to be the voice for the voiceless across America. We need justice for victims, and we need accountability for prosecutors who failed in their duty. Soft on crime prosecutors like Alvin Bragg in New York, Kim Fox in Chicago, and George Gascon in Los Angeles have turned our great country and cities into war zones.
And this is all because of immigrants. And they have been handled by kitten gloves, and, people are really hurting. People are becoming unalive. People are being attacked. People are scared to even be in New York. A lot of stuff keeps happening. How much worse can this be if the borders remain open? And I can just imagine Kamala bringing Indian people over here in addition to all the other people that is over here. They're having a job crisis over there in India. Doggone well she's going to reach back and bless her own kind, her people. She's not going to touch and bless any of us black people, but she's most certainly going to use the race card if you let her get away with it. So now let's get back to Afridamus again. I just wanted to showcase for those that are American how manipulative a lot of Black Americans have become when it comes to color, that notion of blackness, and how a lot of people is putting all their emphasis on this so-called notion that she is a Black woman. And a lot of people are really being fooled. In fact, listen to some of this stuff right here that I have before I go back to Afridamus. I forgot about this video. I don't understand how people can say with a straight face that she's a Black woman. And it marvels me how many people believe this.
I was actually very excited. It's just the thought of her just becoming president, especially being from Howard and being the first Black woman president, potentially. It was just very exciting for me. And I hopefully...
Just goofy. Absolutely goofy. How can he fix his lips talking about she's the first Black anything? She's not Black. What's going on with him? And he's in school, this dumb still?
That hopefully she can get to the election. Hopefully she can win the election, in November. Looking back at 2016 and Hillary, she did win the popular vote by close to, I think it was over 3 million. And so I believe that if she can get her campaign right, that she may be able to pull a few swing states and win this election.
I am excited for a much younger candidate. I think myself and others, we're kind of losing faith in Joe Biden's ability to serve another 4 years. The Biden administration wasn't my favorite, so I do feel like Harris, I'm not thrilled, because I feel like in some ways it will be more of the same. However, I do think it's a positive direction for the party. Yeah, I think the vice presidential pick will definitely make a really big difference. I think a lot of people I know, even though they're more excited about Harris, they still are more interested in a more progressive candidate. I think if they went in that direction, that would definitely help a lot of young people get out to the polls. I'm honestly really not sure who she's considering right now, so it's kind of hard to say.
It's just so sad that so many able-minded, bodied individuals are totally clueless on her capacity to become a president. I don't know what they're looking at, what they're listening to, but they're confused. And there's a whole host of people that are confused about Kamala. And again, propaganda is real in the media. They're trying to spin her as being a saint and all this other type of crap. But now let's get back to Afridamus. And again, him mocking Black Americans for not knowing that Kamala Harris is actually Indian and that we're being used and played like a fiddle.
And then I'll bring you guys in.
Mostly, nowadays, our cook is my younger sister from Canada. We went and prayed for Kamala. So this year I want to go and say thank you to him. That's all.
I mean, how has your family reacted? Your relatives, you should have been receiving a flurry of phone calls.
Oh, yeah. All our cousins have been giving messages or calling and everything.
I mean, anything you'd like to tell to people regarding educating girl children, particularly because you've been from a family?
All right. So you guys have seen that, right? So now I'm going to bring the people in. Guys, welcome to the Afridamus report. I see Ola and I see Mr. G 1804. Guys, what do you guys... let's start with Ola. Ola, what do you think about this? Like they are trying to come here and tell people, the blacks, deceiving them, telling them Kamala is black, and the blacks are accepting it. But before 2020, you saw me play the video. She was announced as the first Indian senator. Kidola, what do you think is happening here? Do you think even though, the blacks, they said they're against debtors. Do you believe that they're against debtors or they are going to bend the knees?
But they would bend the knee. I know this bloody FBA, they ain't shit.
Kidola, are you shocked to see that? You remember they used to say they're against Jamaicans and so now all of a sudden here is a questionable, because Jamaica have Chinese, they have Indians, why do you think FBA, when it comes to Kamala, they want to make excuses?
The real Indian now want to rule them.
Yes, the real Indian is ruling them. Go ahead.
Do you think it's that simple? Do you think it's that simple?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ola. I'm sorry. I thought that was
you, this Black American guy. The real Indians coming to rule your guys now. You just FBA, ABOS that cry every time on this internet, calling potatoes, all kind of shit. You see, this your daddy never say you're good for anything. You know what I'm saying? When they break it down, they support the Indian mafia as black people to you people. You're dancing your head.
Are you shocked to see that in the game of this blackness, it is actually terrorists? Like, look at Barack Obama. He outblacked the blacks. Now look at an Indian terror. She is outblacking the blacks. She even was used. They committed a coup d'etat in the Democratic Party.
What do you mean by outblacks the black? if you don't mind explaining.
Because the blacks thought their black card was stronger than the terror card. But obviously we're seeing that, because, me being the ambassador terror, I understand which positions I can run for, right? Because they want they want the light-skinned Mortisa terrors. The Mortisa terrors have more power than the black that you know.
The racially ambiguous.
Yes, that's what they want. You see. So
and to be honest with you, my brother, if you listen to thank you for having me on the show. By the way, I guess I'm one of these.
Where are you going, man? You too sharp. Why are you, man? The Indians want to rule you guys, man. You too sharp. Hold on. You jump too much. Look, Afridamus. You see, all these so-called FBA, ADU that is crying in the internet all the time. These are scammers. These are buffoons. In the real game, in the real game, they want to be white.
I wouldn't call them scammers or wanting to be white, but I would call any Black American who is still going to be fooled enough to believe that Kamala Harris is a Black woman, that you guys are just typical crash dummies. You are willing to just go out there and just bang up for something that's not reality. And again, when she ignores you or harms you, then you'll be that specified crash dummy that she's created. And I just hope that you guys won't allow her to manipulate y'all to become crash dummies. But there are a lot of people that still want to believe that she is Black, and that's sad.
India. Now, the Democrats have sampled them in India now. You understand me? At the same time, the Democrats telling them, hello, she's a Black woman, just look at her, she's Black. So you see, they're fooling them. You understand me? They're fooling them.
Kidola, do you think the Blacks know this and they're going along, or they really believe that she is Black?
Can I help you? Can I answer that real quick?
Let me finish.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Look, let me just tell you the truth. I now realize the so-called Black Americans in the United States got no game at all. They are not standing up for themselves. They're being controlled. Who is the daddy say, can you eat this pancake? They will eat it. When the daddy said, do you want to eat
microwave
mac and cheese?
Oh yeah, mac and cheese. They're going to eat that mac and cheese. Yeah. When the daddy said, today I will show you who's going to be your people now, they'll say, okay, master, I'm here. All this Tarikashi, all this so
Kamala Harris, she did not even grow up in America. She grew up in Canada, not even in America.
She have no Black American husband?
No, she have a white husband. What's those little hats?
If I ever hear NBA is crying internet again, I say, my man, that's why
how many of these FBAs have come at you saying you married a white woman? But have you heard any of them? They're fighting Indian woman, but even her having a white, not only just any white, a little hat. They have no problem with this. Kidola, this is why now I'm beginning to...
They are bunch of
Afridamus. You're making stuff up. You're just making stuff up.
Wait, you're going to have your chance. So,
I know, but you can't just sit here and lie.
Hold on,
brother. We're going to address that. I'm next.
As much as I don't really care for Afridamus, he's telling the truth in a lot of regards. A lot of y'all out there are dumb. Again, dumb down, dumb birds. Look at this video just to show you what I mean. A whole Black men who are convinced this woman is a Black woman. Listen to this.
And our friend Charles Coleman joins right now. Charles is also a former Brooklyn, New York prosecutor and host of the Charles Coleman podcast. So here's the question, my friend. What did you gather from these conversations about how having Vice President Harris at the top of the ticket is going to influence their vote?
Well, Alex, I think the easiest thing that I can say that I took from these discussions is that we are not a monolith. I think that this intergenerational conversation that I was able to have really invited a bunch of different perspectives about what the enthusiasm has been since Kamala Harris has entered the race for president, and then also for some people, how it hasn't changed. I heard from young people who talked about their issues and what they're most concerned about, not necessarily being wowed by the significance of Kamala Harris as a black woman, because their frame of reference for the presidency is President Obama. So they've had a black president.
A whole black man that's a professional declaring that she is a whole black woman. So disrespectful to our ancestors, to ourselves. It's just, and they're just playing locked into this notion that they have to just say whatever they're told to say. This is MSNBC, biggest propaganda, one of the biggest propaganda networks. And he's going along with the lie that she's black. A whole professional man, people looking up at this news is going to probably believe this bullshit. Listen to this.
I've talked to older people who talked about the fact that regardless of who is in office, they're concerned about things like Social Security and the price of prescription drugs. But one of the things that I learned was that there is a sense of pressure from some people to just get on the bandwagon regardless of what she's talking about because of the fact that she is a black woman. And I thought that was a very interesting dynamic. So let's listen to this side where I get some information from.
So Afridamus is not totally wrong, and I hate to say it. I hate to say that a lot of y'all are really just dumbed down crash dummies. And it's really, really embarrassing, y'all. Please stop allowing us to look and sound like this.
One of the people I'm talking to. How much pressure, if any, do you feel to make the commitment and engage the conversation or the support for Kamala Harris from community before you've heard anything in terms of what her platform is?
Rather significantly. Being an HBCU alum and D9 member, we've already seen that push and that call for all of us to rally behind her. She already had my vote based on, and we had this conversation earlier in the year, the Biden administration actually campaigned on forgiving student loans, and they forgave my wives. That was a direct benefit for me. So they had my vote solidified on that. But I do feel like the symbolism of the moment does urge us a little bit more, even without hearing the platform, to be behind it. It's kind of double for me personally because it's kind of like you're almost a villain if you have a question, right? It's almost like, you know, you're anti something because you question something. And politically, you know, because it's such a finite timetable of when you have to make a decision, it doesn't leave room to have a real in-depth conversation. You're almost put in a place where you have to just say, come on, let's go. And it's like, come on, let's go with what, right? And then when you're halfway down the road and you feel like wait a minute, I shouldn't be part of this bandwagon. Are you anti because you want to back off now? Or you know, dude, let me out the car. You know what I'm saying? How you look at now, you know what I mean? So it's rough.
That's a Boys and Hoods reference for people that catch it. There are a lot of people who are skeptical.
Again, there's too many black men, whole black men, professional black men, men that have gone to school, who have decided to allow themselves to just be tricked and play this racial blackness game that was played with Obama. They're doing the same thing for Kamala, and they're just falling right in line like it's the thing to do. And it's just disgraceful. I don't know how else to put it. I don't have the words to really say how frustrating it is. But Afridamus is telling the truth. As far as a lot of us still will play the game, we will allow ourselves to be used and abused and spat out. And this video, I hope, will cause people to feel be tired of that and do something about it. Vote Trump.
Although they support Indian people as black, now you are happy.
We haven't came against her having a white husband, and he hasn't said in the media. She barely showed him.
I have a video here. The Indian woman is coming. I showed it.
The Indian woman is coming. The leader.
What are you
talking about? They're not support Indian woman not to be a black American now. You understand me?
No. A lot of black Americans are going to vote for Trump. We're not voting for Kamala. You don't really hear black Americans unless they're like the older women talking about Kamala.
Where's the real black America? And now understand people like
Did you say where's the real black American?
Africans.
Nobody hates Africans.
Where's the
I don't understand how going from talking to Kamala Harris, you act like a victim and claim that somebody hates Africans. Kamala's even talking about Africans.
Hold on.
To the ring now.
Guys,
say it again.
Wait, hold on, guys. Check this out, right? Since this guy tried to say, they didn't show the husband. Who cares? Let me show you right now.
No, I said that the FDA has been calling her out for not showing her husband, and you're trying to make it seem like we don't have a problem with it. We've been calling her out, saying, "Hey, show your husband. Don't hide behind anything."
Okay, here's her family. Okay, when she was the first, Indian senator. Here we go. You see, this is all Indian. Okay?
You see any black American there?
Kedolo, why are you so worried about black Americans?
Oh, you see
wait, guys. You see this? Yeah, this is not.
I hope you guys are seeing this, because her family is the ones that she's showing off, and they're Indian. So this card that she's playing, y'all should really feel insulted. I would really hope that you guys get upset about it. They're playing in our faces and disrespecting us like this.
Little, Chianti Jaquisha. You see this?
This is the new black now. This is the new black American.
That's right.
This is the new black. God damn.
No, I think that she's Indian and she's Jamaican. It's coming out.
No, sorry.
Fuck that.
She's not claiming black Americans. She's trying to pander to black Americans to get the black American vote.
Wait, guys. This is the husband here. This was one before Joe Biden became senile. Here we go. This is only 7 years ago. It took her 7 years, less than 7 years to become black.
Okay. Well,
you guys see, this is the husband. Guys, this is the husband here.
Hey, Afridamus, I agree with.
Yes. Wait, I'll show you.
The Bible brings you, right? Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies?
You guys see how Joe Biden?
We know what the oath is.
You guys see how Joe Biden is talking regular? This is before he became old and senile. But now they want to tell us he has a stutter. He's never had a stutter. But now, see, this is 7 years ago. Here we go.
Foreign and domestic. That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. You take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose.
Hey, 7 years ago?
Well and faithfully discharge the duties of office.
Oh yeah, she was being sworn in Congress.
I did.
When she was a senator.
Well, 7 years is quite a...
And just remember, 5 years ago, she was having questions about her so-called blackness, her link to blackness, and she had an answer about that. Let's see what she said when critics said that she's not black enough.
And a question for all of the candidates as they're getting into the primary, Karun, is how do they take on Donald Trump, right? And the Mayor Pete Buttigieg approach to Trump versus the Elizabeth Warren approach to President Trump, which is ignore him or take him on directly. Which approach do you think wins out in the primary?
I mean, this is the big question for the Democratic Party, right? Which way are they going to go? They're not exactly a completely cohesive group. I don't think that you can completely ignore Donald Trump. He is everywhere. He is on television every 5 seconds. He is doing things that make the news all the time. So to pretend like you're not actually addressing him in this election is to kind of ignore where the gut of the Democratic Party is after the heartbreak of 2016 that they had. But, to completely go further than you can actually substantiate necessarily by saying, oh, he's maybe not going to be a free person. I mean, the Mueller investigation has not gotten that far. The Democratic leaders in the House do not want to talk impeachment right now. So that may be just kind of throwing too much red meat out there. And clearly there's some sort of a happy middle, but we don't know who that's going to be or what it's going to sound like, because it's going to depend a lot on the candidate. And at this point, they're all making their pitches out there and seeing what sticks with which part of the base they hope to claim. They're not yet at the point where they're going to have to start answering, and challenging each other. And that's where we're going to get to see, really where they can kind of split the party. Yeah.
Yeah, and also too much red meat. That is a line you will never hear. That is not a philosophy that Donald Trump adheres to. That for sure. I do want to ask you about about Kamala Harris. During a radio interview this morning, she was asked about people questioning that she's not black enough. And I found it was important how she answered it and what she said. Let me play for you what she said.
So I was born in Oakland.
Yeah.
and raised in the United States, except for the years that I was in high school in Montreal, Canada. And look, this is the same thing they did to Barack.
Yes.
This is not new to us. And so I think that we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do what has been happening over the last 2 years, which is powerful voices trying to sow hate and division among us. Mm-hmm. And so we need to recognize when we're being played.
What do you think of her response?
I think it's a good response, and I think it's something she's going to have to answer more so in...
Again, she didn't outright say she was black, but she's implying that she is. She wants to keep that out there to believe that she is. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat room. Thank y'all all for commenting. I really appreciate it. For those that are in the clouds, please hit the like. I am for Black Righteous Folks Home, or for Black for short. Gold Crown says, I hit rewind on that one. I'm going to be quiet. Okay. Free says, somebody should tell him real black people are not on television. Okay. African Goddess says, Afridamus and Ola on the same show. We all might overdose on ignorance. He always has Ola on his show. Trust and believe that one. Free also says, Chinese out African, the Africans. Oh, wow, Free, that's interesting. The Chinese out African, the Africans. Wow, I got to remember that one. Mr. Uganda says, I missed Condola laughing my ass off. Forgot he was still on panels. Yeah, at times he can be funny, and other times he's irritating. It's a mixed bag with him. Charlie Shaw says the Jamaicans were eating this up. They say out of many one people, no one is saying she's not Jamaican. We are saying she's not black, and she doesn't try to portray as an Afro-Jamaican. No, people are painting the picture for her, and she just playing along with it. She's playing along with the notion of that. Mr. Uganda says the out of many one people saying was an aspiration of Jamaica. It was never intended to reflect the reality that actually existed over there. The Jamaicans need to get a grip and set it straight. Yeah, it'd be nice if they would just say, yeah, we know who that is, and he is not one of us, something. But people are quiet. They're playing right along with the game. Ox says, I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who sees what's going on. No, you're not the only one. And something consciousness. We all see what's going on. No one supports Harris. I would hope not. My goodness. Miss D says, sad they worried about us, but in their country, they're being controlled by Chinese, Russian. Don't worry about us. They got a lot of time to worry about us. Hey, sis, Afro Goddess in the house. You said, didn't know you were live. I'm working and listening in when I can. I just shared your stream. Thank you for that. I love you too. Gold Crown says, not on the chessboard, not ready to unify the pieces. They write, but even the immigrant self don't like the way they saying it. Yeah, they can come off really crude how they say certain things that is triggering to us. But I think in this case about the mindset of many of us that are stuck on stupid, that's willing to be played with, that's willing to have people play in their faces. Many of us are allowing it. And I think that we should get sick and tired of being played like this, played with. That's my opinion. And Afro Goddess says hello to all moderators in chat. And thank you for that. And you said, I can't grade you all individual or greet you all. Okay, working. Okay. And the Africans on the continent don't mess with African Americans. Consciousness say the whole world think we crazy. Oh, wow. Is that right? That's not good. Charlie Shaw says, Mr. Uganda, they have been making videos addressing Black Americans about we're not in charge of who's Jamaican. Well, I don't care about that. I just want us to understand that she is not melanated Jamaican. She's not at all. Sandy says, disrespectful, have to leave. Bye then, Sandy. If you're a supporter of Harris, then yeah, maybe you should go. Charlie Shaw says, AC, that's fine. We don't need the validation from people who's not Black Americans anyway. Jersey says Democrats. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Black by injection. Okay, Joe. Mr. Uganda says they have an inferior complex and it is destroying their country. Yep. How you doing, safe brother? Consciousness says, or acid consciousness says, it's horrible. We've been being exterminated. We needed to unite, but in the end, they'll learn who they're dealing with. That's interesting. Easy X says, I have given up. I can't even talk about this issue anymore. I'm done with a certain type of Black Americans. I just let them go. I don't even hang out with these kind of people, Black folks. A lot of them can't be saved. A lot of them don't care to be saved. And that's the scary part about it. We can't reach everybody, but maybe some of the younger ones we can reach. I'm afraid the boomers are unreachable, but maybe some of the millennials can be reached if they see the truth in front of their face. Maybe they will understand it. That's why I'm deciding to do these types of videos in hopes to reach out to the younger crowds, because we need to see the truth as it is, not the way we hope it to be or the way that it's being painted for us to be. Nobody care who they consider Jamaican, but they aren't going to tell us who's Black, Charlie Shaw says. Exactly. And how you doing, Horny? Thank you for coming through. How you doing, son? Elbow, what's going on? I don't pay attention about the world. Can you kindly tell what's going on? Well, you know, Kamala Harris is trying to run for president, and she's lying about her nationality, or her race rather. She's leaving it open for us to believe that she is Black. And that is what Obama played, that card, and she's playing the same card. You said her father's mixed, East Indian and Jamaican. I heard her father's half Irish and half East Indian. So, all right, I don't know. But he looks like he's mixed with white to me as well. Let me see, where was I? African Goddess says, I think there are some class issues going on here. That's what these men are identifying with. Yeah, they're inundated with being clowns, crash dummies for Kamala Harris. Those men that were talking and pretending like they couldn't see what they were looking at. Please like the video, y'all. I would greatly appreciate it. Just per Black people will never get power in the United States by being political. It's going to be a hard road to be in power, because people just don't respect us in the right way. And many of us, unfortunately, are not respecting ourselves in the right way as well. So we have a lot of work to do. And the first thing is we need the right person in office to sort through the mess that we already have behind Biden's administration, which includes Kamala Harris. She has been very destructive as the vice president. G says Trumper having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. Trumper having or showing, well, I'm not a Trumper, but I believe in the border being closed, G. So that's where I'm at with Trump. Nothing more, nothing less. Get the border in order. Will says reparations should be the only fight. We got to fight for more than reparations, because, again, if we're being squeezed out of America and being ignored to the point where we're devastated and homeless and having all kinds of other issues, reparations can't be the only thought that we have, in my opinion. Thank you for that, Mr. Uganda. 4 more like, please. Thank you for that. Charlie Shaw says, no, her father is biracial. He's Irish and Indian. He was just born in Jamaica. That's all. I don't know why it's so confusing. Gold Crown says, Trump's just had things on the up and up. I was certain he was going to get another term even before we all got hit with the hell of a difference. Yeah, the COVID was it wasn't nice during his administration, that's for sure. Gold Crown says Trump pardoned so many Black folks. Trump would have saved Tookie. I'm just saying. Yeah, he did pardon a lot of people. I forgot about that. That's another good reason why we should support him. Why he's not showing the blacks for Trump videos. I don't know. What are you talking about, me? Eventually, I'll be showing more of Trump once he gets away from just talking about the rallies and stuff like that. Maybe I'll play some clips about him in the rally. But right now, I did maybe 2-3 videos ago. I showcased some of his speech when he just was attempted to be assassinated. I talked about Trump, that video. So you can go check that out free. How you doing, Monique? Thank you for coming through. Our Afro Goddess says, my apologies, I'm working, to everybody. Charlie Shaw says, you and all state your thoughts in the chat. Please don't be shy. Exactly. Shank says Trump 2024. Exactly. That's what I say. For the border's sake. And Turbo says the Black Panthers taught wisely. I don't know about, I'm not a Black Panther. I don't know what you mean by that. Policy Panda, Blue Tasami, 2024. Okay. Marie says, ain't this the same lady that put 1,000 people in jail for weed possession? Over 1,500, about 1,900, Maurice. She in prison or jailed for weed possession. And Acid Consciousness says the Black Panthers were good, but you seen what the American government did to them? Charlie says, I guess saying you're from Oakland is the new black. Yeah, saying you from Oakland means that you down for the cause of being black. Yeah, that was silly. Yeah, the 3-stroke rule lady, Acid Consciousness says, is that what she did? Hi, Tyron, how are you? Say Brother says she's doing just like all the other politicians do. When asked a direct question, she avoids, dodges, and deflects. Policy Panda says for a POC to get recognition, it is about unity, regardless of status or past. Judge a man not by their past, but the future and present. The system makes us all do things we regret. Beauty from Ashes says, I'm from Oakland, born and raised. She's a joke. Don't play. Clap back. Okay. Policy Panda says the lines between good and bad are determined by society and how it frames the actions. We used to lock people up for alcohol, but at the end of the day, education and harm reduction was important. Please get the likes up. I appreciate y'all for hitting the likes. Thank you for that so much. Policy Panda says, I'm the last person to defend any authority, but if she were more vocal on how she noticed the system is screwed beyond the facade it's put up for our century, then I'm sure most wouldn't care. Well, I hope we do care about our future. She needs to answer the damn question. I am convinced that she's playing with us, Monique says. She is playing with us. What's wrong with Harris, though? Her record, pretty much, and what she's doing at the border, nothing. Allowing the border to be wide open. Don't you know that there's 10 million people that's illegally here in America? Zoe Nova. Tyron says, tune into the debate of Tyron. All right. On the 10th, you have to remind me in the comment section because I'll forget. Policy Panda says, I'll lean towards it being an issue of absolute power corrupts absolutely. All power is irredeemable when is used improperly, immorally, and without just cause to even establish power. There is no fear of God has to be taught, Beauty from Ashes says. So let me get back to Afridamus because there's way too many comments for me to get through. I'm sure that people is going to get bored with the comments if I just keep reading. So let me get back to Afridamus and then I'm going to play just a little bit more. And then we're going to look at a couple of more videos before I go. But again, this notion of us being blindsidedly dumb for Kamala, it seems to be true, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it's taken an Afridamus to tell us that we're being fooled. I've already done my video talking about us being fooled, but I think that many more videos has to be stated to show that we're being fooled.
Somebody in their 70s, though, we have to be honest, though.
She's calling her family over. So let us see what her family extended family looks like.
Great to see you.
Do you see here?
Does she have brothers and sisters though? I mean, she's the only child.
Sir, no, she got a sister. She's here. Sir, I see lots of tandoori chicken here. Okay? Okay, let's go. You guys know what? I don't see cornbread or collard green here. I see tandoori chicken.
That's why we're not voting for her.
And garlic naan.
I'm sorry. After these are the black people always like to look for a very long time. The black people like this kind of skin.
So Kidola, watch her extended family.
So those are her immediate family.
Yeah? Where's the real black America? This is a new black now. Yeah? You probably don't see the dustbin. You understand me?
What does it mean? Afridamus, you got me on mute? No, we hear you, brother. You're not on mute.
No, you see this? You see this woman here? You see this woman here? Doesn't she look like Kamala?
Yeah, that was another Indian senator.
Okay, this is Jayapal. This woman.
Yeah.
Hold on. This woman is a representative of my area, my region, where I live. Okay? I'm gonna admit I voted for her one time, before I found out who she really is. She's from my area here. Okay? She's from Seattle. So if she is presenting herself as Indian and she's Kamala's representative, her relative, she's, what does that tell you? Here we go. You see? Yeah, I gotta give her deer this summer. Take a look at. Doesn't she look like Kamala? So this woman.
Kamala is a little bit. You can see the. You can kind of see. No, hold on a second. You can kind of see the nigger. In Kamala's face.
Who you fooling, man?
Oh my God. Talking about you can see the nigga in Kamala's face. That's how dumb some of y'all are. God, why do they always have to get on platforms and talk? Why are they the main ones always showing up the dummies? I don't get it.
Who you fooling? Stop that nonsense.
All right.
Who you fooling?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, guys.
So let me say this real quick though. This is why I had to ask in the chat earlier before I came on. Are you trolling? But I know you're trolling. Sometimes.
Look, I smelled a lot of curry in that room. Okay. I did not smell no barbecue. So let's make that clear.
No greens.
No greens. Go ahead.
No smoked greens, no neck bones, none of that. No, I understand what you're saying, but I do think this conversation it can be. We probably don't have time to intellectualize this conversation, right? Because as the election is around the corner, but I think there's a greater, and I do agree with you, right? Where FBAs, the guys they target is, the Caribbean and the African booty scratchers.
Mr. G, let me ask you this. Mr. G.
You're on mute. I got you. You good.
Mr. G, let's just keep it real. FBA said they have issue with Caribbeans, all the blacks from Caribbean and Africans.
What is our issue with Caribbean and Africans?
So now we have a questionable black person. Now they're trying to tie her to that island. Don't you find that?
What is our problem with Caribbeans and Africans?
Go ask Tariq Nasheed.
No. You're the one saying it right now. You're saying FBA has a problem. So let me answer your question real quick. And I don't know if it will sort of fall in line with what Afridamus kind of think. I think the problems that I'm Caribbean, I'm Haitian, and he's African. The problem with Africans and Caribbean have with the Tariq Nasheed and the rhetorics is mostly the rhetorics of FBA is that you guys automatically put us on the board as you guys' enemy when we are not. When we a lot of us, we fully accept that we're black, but obviously
due to the fact that some of us were born in other places and things of that nature, we come here, so our parents may, still do.
You guys don't consider yourself black. Again, that's hogwash talk. Here's another video that I was planning on showing. I think I'm gonna wrap up about Afridamus because he doesn't really have any more to add in the conversation other than the people going back and forth and that terrible microphone that's annoying that I'm hearing in the background that's making all that racket. So a California police officer had something to say about Kamala Harris too. I really wanted to play this before I conclude the video. Thank y'all for coming through. If you have not yet, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's listen to what this police officer had to say about Kamala.
So yesterday I created a post about Vice President Kamala Harris and my viewpoints on her policy stances. And, I want to thank everybody for their positive feedback, positive comments, and the great dialogue I had with even people who disagree with me. I appreciate you being respectful. And I had a couple of haters. And then I had a couple of gentlemen say, hey, how on earth can you even consider voting for a convicted felon? Because if you're not voting for Harris, you're voting for a convicted felon. And I just had to sit here and stop. Before I even go forward, there is no way in hell I am going to vote for Kamala Harris. Once again, I'm not going to disparage her. I'm a black man. I respect black women. I will never, ever disparage a person. But there is no way.
Again, a black officer calling her black. I just cannot believe what is going on with so many of y'all still clueless. Like, everybody can't be us. Everybody can't be us, y'all.
Hell, I would ever vote for Kamala Harris. That's just a no-go right there. Primary reason is she has been reckless and irresponsible. She was in charge of the border, and she left us open to danger and a whole host of other issues and solid, logical reasons why I cannot, in good conscience, allow her to California, my America. I won't do that. I'm going to be retired one of these days, and I need a safe place in America to go. And if she wins the White House, I believe America's going to turn into a rolling dumpster fire in the dry forest, without question. That's why. So I'm only left with two other choices, RFK. And RFK, I think he's a really nice guy. And who you guys label or tag or branded as the convicted felon.
I agree with him here, and I actually like RFK.
But see, RFK is going to minimize the votes to where he might give Kamala a chance to win by splitting up our votes like that. So I don't know about RFK. I guess I have to see what he's talking on, if he's going to beat out Trump or not. What is he willing to do about the border? Because I haven't heard him say anything as of yet. What do y'all think he would do about the border, or have you heard at RFK providing any emphasis about the border talk and conversation? Let me know in the chat room if you have heard him say anything about that.
DA and so forth, Attorney General, but then also kind of where she stands even as a vice president. And so I think it's appropriate, at least right now, just to go back and revisit something from my favorite Pentecostal preacher, that is our good brother Bishop Wooden.
Don't you let them, because you see, these people have an agenda, and their agenda, one of the things is to get rid of the church, to have abortion on demand, to the promotion of all things LGBTQ. Kamala Harris, she's running for the vice presidency. I call her Miss Lock Up a Brother, for when she was the AG in California, a Negro knew, a black man knew that he was dead in the water. He was dead in the water. Matter of fact, you don't need a trial. You might well go into jail if you appear before her, because she took pride in locking up black folk. And now all of a sudden she's trying to be sister girl. I'm telling you, check out her record. She locked us up left and right. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, you did, Kamala, however I should pronounce it, you did. And now we're supposed to forget all that stuff. And she boasted in California that she was one of the first. I
got the tape queued, but my time's up today. Well, first, I showed you Thursday night to perform a same-sex marriage. Y'all want to see it? You want to see it? Let it rip.
Let the rings exchanged and the vows declared symbolize your commitment, sincerity, and affection.
Yeah.
And may your love never falter.
May your love never falter.
By virtue of the power and authority vested in me by the state of California, I now declare you spouses for life.
Cut. Now that is who's supposed to deliver us. Now, are you crazy? I like what Maya Angelou said. She said, when the people show you who they are, believe them. That's Kamala. And let me tell you, anybody who's trying to turn America into Sodom and Gomorrah is not good for this nation. She's not good for the state, and she ain't good for black folk. We need husbands and wives. We need fathers. We need mothers. Men born male, women born female. We need real people.
So no, I'm not for her. I'm just
So that's that. All the videos that I intend to play. I hope people are really getting a clearer picture of Kamala. I know she's kind of slippery. I'm pretty sure she's going to be very interested in learning how to deflect different tactics she's going to be trying to use to try to keep us dumbed down and confused. I'm pretty sure she's going to put everything on Trump and make him into this big bully, this dictator wannabe, according to Project 2025. That's the only thing that they have to try to ward off Trump. I hope that it doesn't work, though, because, again, that border is not being dealt with on a daily. More people are pouring in, and that is going to escalate crime. Our economy is going to continue to implode. There is just so much that can happen behind all these different people here that are unvetted. And the only person that I can see that's willing to put their neck on the line to handle it with blunt force is Trump. So you guys can say how you feel in the comment section if you really believe that Harris is the right person for you in your opinion, and tell me why. And please don't let it be that she's black. That's all I'm saying. She is not black. So I'm checking out the last comments and then I'm going to conclude the video. I really appreciate everybody's support in this live. I really, truly support me. I really, truly believe that this live is a lot better than usual lives because of the comments and because of the likes. Normally, it's very hard to come by getting likes. So if you guys could, please continue to hit the like button. Please share the video. Please subscribe to my channel. I can't read all comments because there's quite a few, but I'm going to read as many as I can. Let me see. Kamala isn't black. That's right, Mr. Uganda. Acid Consciousness says, and that might as well be on us. You don't see black-owned stores in Chinese neighborhoods. You see Chinese stores in our neighborhoods. We basically support these people. Unfortunately, we support everybody else but our own. That has been our big dilemma. We are scattered brain and scattered everywhere. So yes, we have a real issue in our community. Zonova says apartments have also suffered and cost of living has gone up since COVID. Corporations realized that they could charge insane prices for essential needs. Yes, it's going to, I would say if you guys are not prepped for like the next 2-3 months in advance, anything could happen because of this election. I'm just kind of have a lot of anxiety about what could happen because people really are scared who's going to be the next president, but it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen up until November. So please prep and get ready because it could be something really bad that could happen, like a civil war. I don't know. A lot of things could happen up until November. Let me see. Gold Crown says, and that's how they act. What are you talking about? The sky is green, not blue. It's been years now. I'm sick of the BS. Stay strong. Baker says she is a joke. Zonova says, no, we definitely have to have the supply. We have so much wasted food. It's not even funny. Please hit the like. Thank you for that, Mr. Uganda. And I'm glad to keep seeing you, Mr. Uganda. When are you going to be going live again yourself? Let me know when you plan on going live again, or you're not planning on being back on YouTube anymore. Please subscribe to Mr. Uganda if he does have a channel still. And subscribe to my sis channel, Afro Goddess, if she's still in the chat room. Yeah, Kamala is Indian, or Oder Pop. Mr. Uganda says, I'm convinced there is witchcraft or plotting on the men. They are so deceived. It's so sad. Real Spill TV says she is mixed. The one drop rule applies. No, it don't. We don't accept that drop. You said her family photos, she has the red dot. She's Indian. Exactly. He's not black, though. He's half Irish and half Indian. That's her dad. We got to stop making up stuff. Acid Consciousness says, Zoe, more that enough space, but the play with how you build and what you can build on said land, that's playing games and you're running out of options on the land you have. I'm not quite sure where that came from. Mr. Ghana says there is so much mislabeling going on these days. People can't identify what they see appropriately. Exactly. Something's going on. I think the border is an issue. Acid Consciousness says, yes, it is. That's the only reason why I'm in support of Trump. I wouldn't be talking about Trump if it wasn't for this crisis with the border. But that is a real significant issue that we as Americans need to really think about. And who is going to be bold enough to handle the border? I don't think Kamala Harris has it in her. Otter says the border is and should be the one of the most important things. That's what I think. Spirit says, honestly, most African American people just willing to vote for anyone not Caucasian. And some actually believe she's an African American. It's sad, isn't it, Spirit? I don't know what type of voodoo they're under, but something's going on. Okay. You said the founder of the Black Panthers said to vote for Trump, not Biden and Kamala. That's good. Everyone can be us. No, they can't. For Black. You claim that everyone can be us? No, they can't. Easy X. That's the issue we're having now. That's why we have so many people trying to punk us as it is. How you doing, Sabin? If she's not Black, then that pastor isn't Black. Yes, she is. She's not Black. She's Indian. She's melanated Indian. And the pastor is Black. And that's not the same situation. I don't know why you're lying to yourself, Real Spill TV. You have to rewind this video and really look at it again. How you doing, Energy? My best yet to come. Hi, I am Jam X Lee. Kamala's all over the place. Her press runs will have her all over the Americas at this rate, Mr. Uganda says. Easy X says, I love these old school preachers now about separating church and state. He's preaching other propaganda in his house, and Kamala teaches her form of propaganda. I don't know where you're from, but in America, the one drop of black blood means you're indeed Black. Well, I don't see it like that. Sorry. I have not been indoctrinated like that. So I'm not under the spell that you're under. Monique says, say, brother, the idea is that we or black people will fall for anything. And unfortunately, some of us do. If she gets voted in office, she will never talk about blacks or Jamaican people again. Exactly. She's going to be so cold with it. She's going to turn her back and never bat an eye. And we're just going to look stupid like we're looking right now. How they're dealing with the immigrants and how they're treating them, and worried about the immigrants and worried about giving them cards and credit cards and whatever, identification cards and social security cards and money. That's what they're going to be talking about for Indians. That's what she's going to be talking about. And we're going to look so stupid and the world's going to laugh at us. I hate to think that that's going to be happening. Man, the preachers need to go. They have been a real hindrance in our community. Say, brother says, if you're looking for God or whatever, go find him. Yes, I'm Black American gay man saying this just so people know. Otter Pop says preachers need to go. That's why the U.S. fell so far so fast. Wow. Preachers prey on women. Real Spill TV. Sometimes they do. You're right about that. Say, brother says, I don't want Kamala in the highest office. No, I don't either. Yeah, but you're not black enough for the group, though, Acid Consciousness says. Okay. As a mixed breed African, I don't know what that means. Team Trump, Beauty from Ashes says, yes. Trump 2024. Christianity was in Ethiopia long before it was in Europe or Americas. Acid Consciousness says, I've been botted from multiple black groups, even either not black enough or I'm not ghetto enough to be black. Okay. Say, brother says she will support her own. She endorsed that anti-Asian hate crime bill. Why she's Asian and not the almond-eyed kind. Exactly. Okay, y'all just talking about the preachers. Beauty from Ashes. We don't cater to our own because our own is always trying to get over, and they for shady work. You know, you can give a black-owned business and it's not excellent, and no clarity on the work. Wow, that's sad to hear. Say, brother, you already subscribed to Afro Goddess. Oh, thank you for that. You're not a YouTuber no more? Oh, okay. I'm glad to see you, though, because you were gone for a while. We don't care about race, but that's what gets our culture jacked, Acid Consciousness says. Okay, so I think that that's more than enough comments for this time. I really appreciate everybody for coming out. I really don't have nothing bad to say about Indian people overall. There is nothing wrong with no group of people at all. There is an issue, though, with trying to play in our faces that she is an actual black woman, though, and she's not. The pandering, the deceptiveness, the outright lying about her color, using blackness as the tactic that Obama has already used. I hope that we really get fed up with it this go around. Please share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I hope that people take the video and understand that we have options, and that option is very important that we research, learn up on what Trump is willing to do for the border. I really feel that that is the main issue that we're going to have in the next 4 years. What to do about all these people here. 10 million and counting, y'all, are here. They're going to really weigh heavy on our economy. All the programs that we have is going to weigh heavy on. the housing industry, apartments and all that is going to really have an ill effect on Americans that are struggling right now. And people that are trying to be a part of programs are not going to be helped because immigrants are going to take precedence over them. And that can't be in America, y'all. That should not be the new America and how America runs, that we are just working for immigrants, for them to come over and take advantage of Americans and the tax dollars and everything like that. The border has got to be addressed, you guys. That is the craziest crisis that I could ever imagine, but it's here and it's now. So I hope that you guys would do me a favor by liking the video. Please have a great Monday and bless up.